This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenn Auh, coming to you from the Review-Journal studio with another update on the murder case of investigative reporter Jeff German. After DNA evidence of the Clark County public administrator was found at the crime scene where Jeff German was fatally stabbed. He's now officially a prime suspect in this case and remains in custody, facing a murder charge. Here's video of Robert Tellis making his initial court appearance this afternoon, the judge denying him bail. The Clark County DA says he's expecting prosecutors to formally charge Tellis at his next court appearance on Tuesday.
Their decision to arrest can and oftentimes does affect our ability to prosecute. But the ultimate decision to arrest was on the part of the police. But yes, I was notified of the forensic evidence finding of the DNA, and yes, I thought it was appropriate to arrest Mr. Tellis at that point. It is compelling. The DNA evidence shows that DNA from Mr. Tellis was found on the hands and perhaps under the fingernails of Mr. German.
Wolfson says Tellis was arrested at his home after investigators received those DNA test results. Police also held a media briefing today, saying their search efforts turned up a straw hat and pair of shoes as well that matched what the suspected killer was wearing in the surveillance video they recovered from German's neighborhood. Photos depicting the shoes and pieces of the hat saying there was apparent blood on the shoes, and the shoes were cut likely in a manner to try to destroy evidence, and the straw hat was cut in a similar manner.
There were two main areas that we were focused on early on. One was ensuring that this was not connected to a burglary series or anything of the sort. And then two, looking at any work-related grievances or conflicts related to Mr. German's work. We knew that as investigative reporter, he had written several articles, and there were different allegations and statements about potential people that would be upset about it.
Police arrested 45-year-old Robert Tellis Wednesday evening, about 12 hours after arriving at his West Las Vegas house to conduct a search. Tellis was loaded onto an ambulance outside his home that evening because police say he was suffering from self-inflicted wounds. The SWAT team also arrived to assist the arrest. As for why Tellis wasn't arrested right away and allowed to go home after questioning, the DA says at the time authorities did not have enough evidence to continue to detain him. Of course, as we mentioned, that later changed when DNA test results came in. As for the victim, Review-Journal's investigative reporter Jeff German, he was 69 years old, tracing back to how German's tragic death happened. Police say their investigation found German was killed around 11 o'clock Friday morning after emerging from the garage of his Northwest Las Vegas house. The assailant appeared to breach the pedestrian gate. Minutes later, German's garage door opened, and German walked to the west side of his property, then was stabbed multiple times. German reported on crime, courts, corruption, casino industry leaders, and mob figures for 4 decades in Las Vegas. This year, he spent months reporting on the turmoil surrounding Tellis' oversight of the public administrator's office. Review-Journal's Renee Summerour spoke with a member of the investigative team who worked with German earlier this morning, here in the studio. Take a listen.
The one that you are currently working on, just about the environment for the Tellis office and their employees, saying that a lot of them were fearing for their safety. Tell us a little bit about that and the continued story you're working on with the wrongdoings going on at the administrators.
Yeah, it sounded to me like the employees were very shaken up yesterday. They said, they'd seen him get angry and just that they were totally shocked, by the news of his arrest, that someone in the office who they had conflict with could be capable of something like this. One of them shared some text messages that Tellis had sent her recently that showed that he was still festering about some of the stories that came out.
Mm-hmm. And again, are there any other information that you all are finding out just in regards to the reporting that ultimately, led to such a terrible event?
Well, he lost the primary after Jeff's stories, which I'm hearing was a devastating for his he, texted a employee saying that she, ruined his life's path. So it seemed like he really felt like that was the case there. And Jeff had outstanding records requests related to Telus that he was looking into. And we certainly plan to finish what he started.
Private services were held for Gearman on Wednesday. His family released a statement saying Jeff was a loving and loyal brother, uncle and friend who devoted his life to his work exposing the wrongdoings in Las Vegas and beyond. We're shocked, saddened, and angry about his death. Thanks for joining us on this in-depth coverage of Review Journal's investigative reporter Jeff Gearman's death. A big thanks to our Review Journal crews working around the clock to bring you the latest info. Take care. Hope you stay safe.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.